with 10 more kanji symbols, that is from 31 to 40 of the total 80 symbols of Japan Grade 1. This is Sujoy Chatterjee welcoming you in the 19th episode of my series of Japanese lessons on the YouTube channel Saral Japani. Welcome friends. We have been learning kanji these days. Out of the 80 kanjis taught in the first standard of Japanese schools, we have so far learned 30 characters. In today's lesson, we shall learn 10 more from the list. So let's begin lesson 19, Kanji grade 1, 31 to 40 of 80. In today's lesson, we begin with numeral 8. This is the kanji for numeral 8. The onyomi reading is hachi and hatsu. The kun'yomi readings may be ya, yatsu, yatsu, and yo. Let's look at the usages of this kanji. Hachi means 8. Ju-hachi. Ju-hachi means 18. Ju is 10 and hachi is 8. So this makes it 18. We have seen this while studying the numerals and counting chapter. Then we have shakuhachi. This is shakuhachi, which is an end-blown fipple-less bamboo flute. It can also mean fellatio, that is blowjob or oral stimulation of sexual organ. Then in the kun'yomi usage, we have hachi as 8 again. Then we have yae. Yae means multi-layered or doubled. We have yatsu, which is 8 or 8 years of age. Then we have yatsu atari. Yatsu atari is venting one's anger on someone or something, or taking out one's anger on another. So this is yatsu atari. This is a radical in itself, and the stroke order is this. This is the first stroke, and this is the second stroke. Now let's see what is the origin of this. So as you can see here, this ancient symbol, this is two bent lines, which indicates the original meaning of this symbol of that is to divide into two halves. So this character was later borrowed to mean 8 because of the homonymy making the original meaning obsolete. So now it no longer means to divide, it means 8 at present. The next kanji of today is letter numeral 6. So you might be wondering why we started with 8 and then going to 6 instead of the other way around. So the reason is that this symbol has the radical 8 in it. So that's why we discussed 8 first and then 6. The on reading is roku, as you already know, or riku at some places. Kun'yomi reading is mu, mutsu, mutsu, or mui. The usage in onyomi is for 6. Also, it can the sairoku. Sairoku means a kid or a brat or a person from Kansai. Then we have Rikukan, which means 6 ministries of Zhou dynasty. We have Rokki. Rokki means 6 emotions: joy, anger, sorrow, pleasure, love, and hate. The Kun'yomi usage, we have Roku as 6. Then we have Muzukashi. Muzukashi means difficult, hard, troublesome, complicated, serious, that is disease, problems, etc. So something serious in nature. And we have Mutsu, which is 6 years of age. So when we add su after a numeral, then it means it's the counter for age. So we shall look at it in details when we do the chapter on counters. So for the time being, Mutsu is 6 years of age. The radical, as I said in the beginning, that it is derived from the radical 8, and this is the stroke order: the first stroke, second stroke, third stroke, and fourth stroke. And this is the Chinese style of counting 6, and this, if you compare it with this symbol, then you will know that how this has been derived. So this is the wrist, this line is this portion, and these two fingers represent this part. So this is how 6 or roku is derived. Next is 7, numeral 7, which is shichi in onyomi and nana in kun'yomi. Also, the different usages may be in terms of nanatsu or nano. Let's look at the usages in onyomi. Shichi means 7 and Zokushichi, this is Zokushichi, which means dominant seventh chord. In Kun'yomi, we have Shichi as 7, we have Dainana as 7th, then we have Nanatsu as 7 years of age, and then we have Nanatsu Obi Arumadiro. This is Nanatsu Obi Arumadiro, which is 7 banded armadillo, that is Dasypus septemcinctus. The radical of 7 is 1, and this is the stroke order for this symbol. The origin and the logic behind this symbol being used for 7 is not confirmed. So we now move on to the next kanji of today's lesson, which is 9. In onyomi, we call it Q or Ku, and in kunyomi, it is Kokono or Kokonotsu. Onyomi usages. So Q means 9 or the numeric 9. Then we have Kyushu. This is Kyushu, which is one of the islands of Japan, the southernmost of the 4 main islands of Japan. Then we have the chrysanthemum festival or the ninth day of the ninth lunar month, which is called Chokyo. Chokyu. Chokyu is the ninth day of the ninth lunar month in which on which the chrysanthemum festival is celebrated. Kuku, which is multiplication table or the times table. In Konyomi, we use this character for 9 once again. And then we have Kokonoe, which is ninefold or imperial palace, or it can even mean the court. Then we have Kokonotsu, which is 9 years of age. Radical is the radical of second, which we will see in the next grade. It's not included in the first grade kanji. So for the time being, we just need to memorize this symbol. This is the stroke order, which is quite simple. This is the first stroke and this is the second stroke. And this is how it has been originated. So the Chinese style of counting 9 is this. So now you can see how this character might have been conceptualized. So friends, uh, previously we have done some numerals like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 10. And in today's lesson, we have done 6, 7, 8, 9. So this completes the 10 numerals, the first 10 numerals of the counting system. Ichi, ni, san, yon, go, roku, shichi or nana, hachi, kyu, and ju. So this is 1 to 10 kanji. Next is the kanji for 100. So in onyomi, we call it hyaku or even byaku, like for if we call 300, which is san byaku. So we don't call it san hyaku, it's san byaku. So both hyaku and byaku may be used as per applicability. In kunyomi, we call it momo. So hyaku is 100. It has a simple single meaning in onyomi. In kunyomi, we have momo for 100, or it is also used to represent a large quantity of, that is many. And momoe, it means piling up highly or becoming a large pile or heap. So this is derived from the white radical, which we have done in one of the last lessons while discussing like as part of this grade 1 kanji, we have already discussed this white radical. So uh, the the 100 the kanji for 100 has been derived from this, as you can see clearly. So this is the stroke order. And here you can see the evolution of this symbol. So initially it was like this in the ancient period, then it evolved like this, and this has the most resemblance, closest resemblance with the modern character of 100, that is hyaku. Then we have thousand. So thousand, this is sen in On'yomi and chi in Kun'yomi. Sen means thousand, and this one is 1900s, the 19th century or the 1900s. Sorry, this is the 20th century. So it will be from 1901 to 2000. So this is called Senkyu Hyaku Nendai. Senkyu Hyaku Nendai. That is the 1900s. Then we have another long word which is Ichinin Tosen. Ichinin Tosen, which is being a match for 1,000. In Kun'yomi, we have Sen as 1,000. We have Chishima, which means Kurail Island. And then we have Hyakusen. Hyaku means 100 and Sen means 1,000. So 100,000, that is 1 lakh. So a large number, it may also give the meaning of a large number, all sorts, hundreds and thousands. So this is 100,000. The radical is 10, as you can see here. This is 10 and this is an extension kind of. So this is derived from radical 10 and this is the stroke order. Be very careful because this is from right to left. Then we have the second line from left to right and then the vertical line. So this is the evolution or the logic behind this symbol is quite interesting. This is the kanji radical for person and this is the kanji radical. This is a variant of the person radical. And here we can see this is the variation of the person radical and an extra line is there. So what it represents, the traditional explanation holds that the extra line, the holds the extra line as an extension to this person radical. And this symbol has the meaning 1000 because 1000 is a number that is reached by extending one's counting. So this is basically the logic given is that there is an extension in the person radical and that's why this is 1000 because 1000 is a number that is reached by extending one's counting. Then the next kanji is for year. Nen in On'yomi and Toshi in Kun'yomi. The usage goes like this. Nen, which is year, it can also be used for the counter for years. That is, for example, of an era. Then grades of a school period of an apprentice's contract, usually 10 years. Then we have Nenkai. Nenkai means conference or annual convention. Then we have Onen, which is years gone by, that is the past. Then we have Heinen. Heinen means non-leap year or an average year for rainfall, temperature, etc. or a normal year. In Kun'yomi, the usage is like this. Toshi means year, age, or old age even. Then we have Toshiake, which means beginning of the year or early in the new year. Then we have Toshi, which means mature age or advanced age. And then we have Ontoshi. Ontoshi means age and especially it means an advanced age. So the both of these have more or less the same meaning. The radical for year is the pestle radical, and from this radical, this symbol has been derived. Look at the stroke order for year. So you have to remember this. So first is this line, then second, then third line, then fourth line, then fifth line, and finally this vertical line. Now again, this is interesting to note the logic behind this symbol. This is the person radical. This is the variant of the person radical. And this represents a person. This is the person radical. And it represents a person carrying a sack of wheat on his back. That is, it represents the harvest. And this is the modern version of the year kanji, which is derived from this. And the modern version used for year, it indicates the annual harvest. So this basically is derived from this kanji. This is a modern extension, modern representation of this harvest kanji. And since harvesting is done annually, so this represents the year. So now let's have a quick recap of three kanjis. This kanji, as you know, represents the sun and also the day. This kanji, it represents the moon and also the month, and this kanji represents the year. So when we write the date in Japanese, we use these three symbols. So when we will do a chapter on date, we will again once again look at these in detail. So for the time being, this is day, month, and year. The next kanji of today is gold. This is the symbol for gold. In On'yomi, we call it kin, kon, or gon. In Kun'yomi, it is kane, kana, or gane. So the usage may contain any of these. So kin means gold. It also may mean metal, color, or medal. That is the gold metal or gold color or gold medal, something of great value, something golden. And it may also mean silence, because there is a proverb that if speech is silver, then silence is golden. So from there, this has come. It also represents Friday, and it also represents carat, that is uh, the purity of gold. And it may also represent the testicles of the male sexual organ. Then we have, so this is basically Congo. Congo. Congo means Vajra. Vajra is a mythological weapon of Indra, Lord Indra in Hindu mythology, which is an indestructible substance. It may also represent diamond, adamantine, or thunderbolt. That is the Indra's weapon. And it also represents the Buddhist symbol of the indestructible truth. So the symbol is a very important symbol that can give a wide range of meanings. In Kun'yomi, we have kane as money or metal. Then we have kanemochi, which means rich person. We have komakai kane, which means a small change. And we have yogo retakane. This is yogo retakane, which means dirty money. Yogo retakane, dirty money. This is a radical in itself, and this is the stroke order. So in this way, you will write this symbol. So this is the derivation of this symbol. So this is an old scripture inscribed on bronze metal. So this has been excavated by the archaeologists. And from this symbol, this is the symbol for initially it was for copper, and later the meaning was extended to metal in general. And then finally it was given a uh, specific meaning for gold. So now it represents gold, and you can see the resemblance and how it might have evolved from this ancient character. 39th kanji of this series is of soil, earth, or ground. The on reading is do or to. The kun reading is tsuchi. So the usage in onyomi is do for Saturday. It represents Saturday. It may represent earth, dirt, soil, land or lands, ground, and earth, again, the third of the five elements. Then we have tochi. Tochi means plot of land, lot, soil, locality, region, or place. Then we have jodo. Jodo means pure land, and it if the to also represents Turkey. So this symbol represents Turkey as well. In Kun'yomi, we have Tsuchi as earth, soil, dirt, clay, mud. The earth historically, especially as opposed to the heavens. The ground, the land. Then we have Dokata. Dokata means construction worker or the laborer. Then we have Akatsuchi. Akatsuchi means Akatsuchi is Akatsuchi is red clay, red earth, laterite, dark or dark red paint. This is a radical in itself, and this is the stroke order. There are three strokes involved. And this is how the symbol has evolved. So you can see here, initially it was a lump of clay on a potter's wheel. So this represents a potter's wheel, as you may relate to a potter's wheel. You must have seen that. So in this way, it gradually evolved like this, and finally this stage has reached. So this is the current symbol for soil or earth or ground. Now let's have a recap of days of the week or elements of nature. So we have this as sun and the Sunday, moon and the Monday, fire, which is also used to represent Tuesday, water for Wednesday, tree for Thursday. So these five symbols we had done earlier in this course, and today we have done this gold or Friday, and we have done this soil earth or Saturday. So this completes the 7 days of the week. So these seven symbols represent seven elements of nature and also the 7 days of the week. And the last kanji of today is for king, which is O or no in On'yomi, and there is no kun reading for this. So this is a pure Chinese symbol. O means king, the ruler, sovereign, monarch, tycoon, magnate, champion, master, king of the senior player. We have Oi, which is the throne or the crown. Then we have Ryuo, which means the dragon king or the promoted rook. And then we have Daio, which is a great king. This is a radical in itself, and this is the stroke order. The first stroke, the second stroke, the third stroke, and the fourth stroke. And this is how this symbol has been evolved. So these are the ancient symbols. So you can see the traditional interpretation is that the three horizontal strokes represent heaven, man, and earth. These three horizontal strokes or these three horizontal strokes. The vertical stroke is the king, that is the one who connects all these three together. In the older representation of the character, like this one, it shows a man or a great man, or even it can represent a heaven or the sky, and which is above a horizontal stroke. So this is the horizontal stroke. So in this way, this represents a king. So this is the interpretation. So friends, we have thus come to the end of today's lesson, that is lesson 19. So far we have learned 40 kanjis out of the 80 kanjis. So in the next lesson, that is lesson 20, we shall be learning some more kanjis. Till then, have a nice time. Goodbye. Sayonara.